Welcome to Women's Radio 2. I am so happy to have our guest back today, Joe Pici, who's a renowned teacher in speaking and in business and uh, and in speaking to business. So we're going to learn a little bit more about some things that he has upcoming because I thought many of you would really appreciate knowing someone of his knowledge and ability that may be able to take you from wherever you are to where you'd like to be. So I'm very, very happy to welcome Joe Pici back to Women's Radio 2. Hi, Joe.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Yes,
Excited. Yeah.
and we've actually been looking forward to this period of time, knowing that this was going to be coming up. So, and I know you did one in was it December?
Well, we do
November,
them twice a year. We do them every October, every April.
every
Okay,
April.
so we
Yes.
definitely have two very big boot camps coming up in April. Our 3-day boot camp for sales, which has been ranked number one in the world by global gurus 4 or 5 times, and our business of speaking training coaching boot camp, which is the 30th of April, 1st and 2nd of May. And that is really about how to make money with your talent and intellectual property.
Well, that sounds very encouraging. I know the people I talk to are pretty much like I am, I think. They don't just do things for no good reason. They see themselves using the things they're learning in their business or on their path. And I bet you have some good stories about people who have done both of these, but start since the business comes first. Um, why don't you start with that one and give us a lick off the ice cream cone? Tell us some
Well,
things
first,
that
let
are
me
in
give
it.
you a quick lick. If everybody that's listening to this will take out a piece of paper, we're going to do
Great.
a quick SWOT analysis about your business. Whether you're a speaker, coach, trainer, consultant, whether you are in any other type of business, what are your strengths? Okay, what do you do well? What works for you, kind of unconsciously? But then what do you have to get better at? What are the areas
Great.
to grow your business, to get paid for what you do that you have to get better at? What are potential opportunities that you may or may not take advantage of? But what are the threats that are coming? Like a big threat is competition, bad economy. So once you do that, then go to the second one, which are what are the areas you have to get better at? Now, with respect to our two boot camps, we built those two trainings based on the SWOT analysis.
Okay.
What we found out was number one, the hardest thing for any business is getting in front of the right person that has the power to make a buying decision that will pay you what you're worth, what your
Amen.
value is. Okay? And because I know a lot of your audience are consultants and trainers and speakers,
They are.
so we put the two trainings together, but the second one, the business of speaking, training, and coaching, really focuses on not so much your delivery, but how do you get people to pay you consistently for what you deliver, whether it's being a one-on-one coach, group consulting, business consulting, a keynote speaker, or a trainer. How do you build your business model? How do you get in front of the people that have the power to say yes or no? How do you get hired and get rehired to make money?
Well, I think those are the most important things, and almost everyone, in one way or another, um, is having to act on that. As you suggested, the economy is not great. Everybody wants to make sure that they're doing the most that they can do, that they are reaching people, and that their businesses are going up, up, up. And that's difficult in a down, down, down economy. And not that it's going down, but it just is difficult because people expected the interest rates to go down and they didn't, and they expected some other things to happen. And instead of that, other things happen. One of the things that's happening, and I know lots of people are talking about it, is the rise of AI, the bots, and so forth and so on. And how that affects their business, either helps them or hurts them in some cases. So, really, like, how do you ask those good questions, Joe? What
Well,
are the tough
let's
questions I need to ask?
let's talk about the AI phenomena
Okay, great.
that's not going away.
No,
All right. So I work with individuals, but I also work with small, medium, and large companies. And I'm telling you right now, 90% of them are using it incorrectly. Not that they're not using it, but a lot of them are using it incorrectly. And some of the top thought leaders in the world are saying in this high-tech world, you better have high touch. So what's happening is
I give it to you.
many companies are turning over their interaction with clients, potential clients,
That's right.
over to a bot, so to speak. Look, if I
Absolutely.
can't outsell a robot, I'm in trouble. And
No, you're
especially,
exactly right. You're
yeah.
totally right. I just had this conversation with someone last night, and we were complaining about a lot of the large companies and banks and people like that are doing exactly what you're saying, and they're completely losing touch with their users.
Well, the other thing that's happening, and I know again, part of your audience are speakers and coaches and trainers.
That's
You've
right.
got to be really careful because if you go on these AI things and you dump your material on there for it to help you, that's just become open domain. There is no there is no protection, okay, on the internet when you dump your information into AI. For example, I spoke at the International Convention for Global Gurus. Global Gurus is a
Hmm.
marketing research company. It's worldwide and they've been around for 8 years. All 8 years, we've been ranked in the top categories of sales training and speaking and our boot camp for sales training. Well, they're usually in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Well, they had one here in Florida, and I was asked to be the speaker for sales. Okay? There were five speakers. One was the top executive coach in the world. He's coached Bezos, he's coached all the top people, executive coach. Another one was a marketing guru. Okay? Another one was a negotiation guru. And then the woman who spoke before me was a futurist. A
Huh?
company pays her a boatload of money to forecast where AI is going. And then I spoke. Okay. Well, when it was over, there was a 2 hour break before the banquet and the awards. And so I pulled her aside and I said, "Let me ask you a question." She said, "Yeah." I said, "How does AI impact intellectual property?" She said, "There is no such thing as protecting intellectual property with AI, especially if people are going to dump their stuff into it." So, what we do with AI, we'll do research, but we don't put any of our stuff into AI, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And uh, it's amazing because AI is going to scrape what you have. It's going to go open domain, and other people will make money off your stuff. So if I'm
I
talking
am
to
so glad
coaches,
you brought that
consultants,
up.
and speakers, if I'm talking to coaches, consultants, and speakers, the only thing you have of worth is intellectual property. Okay? Don't put a machine between you and your client. And that's a big thing we teach in all of our training, how to get to people and have live conversations with them to not only present, but to sell to present.
Exactly, exactly. I'm just so happy that you brought this up because it is part and parcel of the conversations that are going around. And I think it's extremely important. And if they don't get anything else except what they just got right now, that is extremely valuable. It'll save them and put them on the road, a safer road to success. Absolutely. So do you want to give us any other tidbits that are gonna
Well,
you're gonna cover?
well, first I'm going to give a free gift, then I'll give a tidbit.
Oh, okay, good.
So if you take out your phone and go to your text box and put the word sales edge, one word, SALESEDGE, text it to 59925. 59925. That's going to take you to a link which says Peachy and Peachy. Hit the link, it'll take you to a splash page. You will get a free 45-minute sales webinar. Okay? The other thing I'm going to give away for free is a complimentary cup of Joe. Give me a call at 407 947 2590. I'm willing to give you a couple tips that'll help you gain an unfair advantage over your competition, get in front of your target market. So, you wanted a story. I'm going to give you my latest story.
Great.
Okay? My latest story. I get about 90% of my leads come from LinkedIn, and I was mining leads, and I
Hmm.
just get them on the phone. I don't send them DMs. And I called this woman, and she said, I've had it with coaches. I've spent $30,000 in 2 years trying to create my own consulting business, and I have nothing. And all my coaches tell me is I have messed up mindset. And I said, well, let me say this, most coaches are frauds. And so I took her through my process. She signed up for our business of speaking, training, and coaching and sales boot camp, which is at the end of April. But then I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in 3 or 4 complimentary coachings to get you started. By our second coaching session, I had her on the phone. She literally booked appointments with the CEO at Sunny's Barbecue Chicken and Panera Bread, and she's booking. She goes, I don't understand the difference in your coaching style. I said, mine's application based. It's not smoke and mirrors. Okay. And so I really believe if you're going to hire a coach, a speaker, a trainer, a consultant, make sure you vet them and make sure that what they deliver to you is quantifiable, you can measure it, and you can see results.
That's really extremely well said. And we want results, and the people that we are asking to hire us to deliver those results, they definitely want results too. And I think that's more important than ever. There is so much fraud and spam and uh, what's the older like big talk that's
Well,
going on?
you also have a flood right now going on where a lot of college graduates can't find jobs.
That's
So
true.
they're pouring into the consulting world. Well, they're 22, 23 years old. They have no real life experience other than a classroom, but they're flooding the market. And so people can make bad decisions on consulting. What you need to do is vet them. Vet whoever you're going to invest your money in to learn,
Right.
make sure they're better than you at what you want, make sure they're doing it now, and make sure they have fresh fruit on a check, on the tree. They're actually winning at what they're doing.
You're right on. Right on. Very, very well said. Well, wonderful. So give us all the dates
Okay?
and
This
then
3 day
any
sale, and
other information so they
I
can.
do have 2 seats left in each one. And so if you call me at 407 947 2590, I'll send you information. You may want to come. But here's the dates. The 3 day sales boot camp is April 27, 28, 29. It's in Orlando, Florida. The 3 day business of speaking, training, and coaching boot camp is April 30th, May 1, May 2.
And that's also in Orlando in the same location.
They're in the same hotel. They're back to back.
And you want to mention the hotel?
Yeah, it's at the Spring Hill Suites, but you'd need to call me so I could send
Sure.
you information because it's not an open seated event. Everything is paid up front because we limit the seats.
Okay. Very, very good. Well, Joe, thank you so much. I hope that we'll also hear from people that attended and let us know what they got out of it. That would be very, very useful to
Good.
everyone. But I think that you've covered some extremely important things in a short period of time. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Well, and good luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely.